Do you have anything for piercing truth?
Dude, you
I have
just
a.
wanted to get to Unc Shannon, huh? Unc doing
Did I
Unc
write that in
things,
there?
huh? No, I did. I did. Unc doing Unc stuff. So for anyone who doesn't know, Mr. Shannon, account, which we were kind of referencing earlier, on Instagram, went live while he was giving some loving
Horizontal
to
activities,
a
vertical
young
activities.
young lady is what it was sounding like, and
Maybe
he
young.
maybe who knows some a lady, and he said he came out on his story. I don't know if it was him, but his account said he was hacked. They're figuring it out. And then he came later on his show and said, no, that was a mistake. That was me. Uh,
My bad, people.
my bad. Um, which, you know. So there was a lot of people saying, hey, it's like Paul Pierce. He'll get fired. And I actually understand why he wasn't. And here's why. I mean, his face wasn't on there. It wasn't on purpose. I mean, Paul Pierce, yes, what he was on under the influence, but he was holding his phone. He was clear. And yeah, I think those are the two main reasons. And like I think it's just different when you have a face on it. It's just different. It just is. Like when it's just sound or pictures, like people forget. But if dare you say that camera had flipped over, we got a whole different situation on our hands. A whole nother situation, you know. Unc
What's
starts
on
going
the
crazy.
what's on the shot? What is it? I
It's
really
just
like
like wood. I bet it was his like dresser or
so it's
something.
just like a nightstand
Yeah,
or
like it's
something.
just wood. You can see it's like cheap wood. Like it's not.
I was gonna say the picture that I saw, is it IKEA? Like what's going on,
Yeah,
man?
exactly. Like, but it's wood, so it's like. But anyway, all that to
I thought
say
he had it like pressed up against a hotel door. Like that's what it looked like.
something. But I'm very not surprised he wasn't fired. And I mean, considering his own show, it already had like some edgy stuff. I don't know.
And
I
let's be
mean,
honest, they were looking for a reason to get out of the Paul Pierce contract. Like Paul
do
Pierce
you
was
think
not
they're gonna
driving
get rid of
viewers.
him? Because I think they said that they weren't.
Yeah, Shannon Sharpe's one of the big. Him and Stephen A are the two biggest stars of the network, right?
Yeah,
There's
no,
nobody
like
bigger than
Paul
them.
Pierce is a contributor on like the, and it was not a contributor on like some shows. Like he wasn't.
Yeah, Paul Pierce was controversial, like a controversial C tier ESPN employee. Like, and like you're saying, I mean, Paul Pierce was broadcasting himself versus Shannon, like, kind of made a mistake. Now, I mean, obviously, I do believe in that it was a mistake, but shout out Bill Burr. He had the great bit where he's like, it's always the guy that would want the thing to get released that it gets released for. Like, of the two guys on first take, like, who's the one that would be, I guess more impressive in that situation? Like Shannon would be the one that you'd be like, yeah, that's the guy that's out there, like that kind of thing would happen. And it did happen for Shannon's side. So it's like, is there like a 2% chance that there was like a little something going on here? Like, I don't know, anything's possible, but
I
I,
mean, Stephen A. fighting for his guy.
I do believe him. No,
I,
I think it's all good. Does
I mean,
Stephen A try it
Sharp
next?
apologized, and it was clearly a mistake. Yeah, no, the other one, yeah. I mean, Paul Pierce, yeah, no,
Do you think Stephen A
it's
will try to copy the move?
no.
How else can you do this? Do you think he gets like a
They
paparazzi
just
through the
start the
window
show
type?
with him, they just start the show with it happening. Like while he's when they cut into the studio, it's just they just play the sound.
They just open first take with I can't even do it like Unk. That's how you know Unk's
Yeah,
built different. I can't even growl like that.
no, Uncle's he was getting it.
Yeah, that's like it was like a legit. I just heard
Yeah,
him.
no, that was legit. That was not
Unk, you're
fake.
special, Unk. Does
But shout
do we
out.
get like is there going to be a report of like Stephen A seen through a window with a mysterious, like, is Stephen A, are we gonna get a Stephen A leak now? Because I mean, make no mistake, Stephen A is definitely competitive about his relationship with the ladies. Like he brings it up a lot on first take. He's always
Wow.
making sure to mention that he's doing okay. Do we get some pictures, some photos? Like, do we get Stephen A making a play here?
Mm, I don't think so, but
With no
it's just
Stephen A
it's
leaks?
just crazy to me that we're at the point where it would have been worse if he had like said a slur or something, and then him just banging it out on
Isn't that
like
worse
after the
though?
whole Rachel Andrews, was it Nicole Rachel? Why am I getting her name wrong? Not Rachel Andrews,
Rachel
Nicole
Nichols?
Rachel Nichols.
Yeah, what is
After
she?
that
Did she have a
whole
tape?
thing, you remember they recorded the call of her being like mad that Malika got the
Oh.
thing, and then that
I was
kind of
like, how did I miss this tape?
freezed her out of being on everything. You know,
Yeah, yeah, the Sage
it's just
Steel.
crazy to me that that is worse than someone just literally getting it on.
Okay, but what would like you're saying in this specific instance where where you're not seeing anything, it's just audio. Would you rather Shannon got caught saying a racial like the audio of him saying a racial slur or the audio of him having sex?
Nah, it's
I
I
think
get it.
I honestly think as an employer I would rather him the audio leak to him having sex, right? You want him out there
Yeah,
you want him out here saying slurs? What's going on? It's Disney.
I get it. I get it. It's just crazy to me. I mean, Rachel didn't say any slurs. She just insinuated some
Oh
stuff.
yeah, true. We should clarify.
You know, I mean, I think it was specific to Andrews. It may have been a little, I don't know.
I think it was
I don't
Sage
know.
Steele, right?
But it was what?
She was talking about Sage Steele.
I don't know. I thought it was just like, hey, this new kid came in here and she's already getting,
Hmm.
I don't know. She didn't say slur. And so that's why I'm like, that's kind of the point that Nichols, like, she didn't say slur. She was just insinuating, like, I don't think it was anything racial, but I think it was just people took it to that point, you know? But it's just crazy to me that we have the Nichols situation where she kind of disses someone because they got her spot that she was promised. And but Unc can get away with literally banging it out on live.
And then immediately doing the immediately doing the reaction pod followed by the Blue Chew sponsorship. I know it's not Blue Chew, but
That's crazy.
whatever their, you know, their dick pills are that they have on
Yeah.
there. Like that was the part for me that was like, okay, is there 2%? Like, did Roman put him up to this? It was like, hey, drop the tape and then push the chews and then we'll get some product going here. But an unfortunate situation. And I do gotta say, like, it is, I feel like it is pretty easy to do. Like the swipe over when you're scrolling through Instagram, like on your feed, doing the swipe over onto the camera, I could easily see how you could get
But
over into
then
that camera.
you gotta swipe a couple more to get to live though. Live is the last option on there. That's where I'm
But
like, it is a little tough.
but it I feel like when you do those like mistake, you always do like you're always like, how did I end up here? You'll be like, I haven't texted this person in forever, but I've got their contact information open and I've like typed out half a message. I just sat on my phone. Like that doesn't even make sense. But
Yeah.
you like, how did I build this Spotify playlist out of music I don't even listen to after just sitting on my phone? It just I feel like it does happen sometimes. And make no mistake, there have been times if we're just being completely transparent here, people, it's late in the live. So if you're still here, you get
Yeah, shout out. You're a
the
real
real
one.
stories. There'll be times when you're like sitting on the old toilet there, scrolling through Instagram, and I'll be like, you know, just scrolling, and all of a sudden you accidentally scroll kind of at the wrong angle, and now all of a sudden I've swiped over onto the story part of it, you know, where you get like the camera opened up,
Yeah.
but you know, you're not like actually posting anything. Obviously, I haven't posted anything, of course, but I'm just saying, like, I think it is easy to swipe over, but you're right. The live option, you have to click a couple steps in. And then he was saying he's never been on live before, so it would have to like confirm it and he'd have to take a couple of extra steps if he had never been
Yeah.
in there new. But I think all in all, stock up for our guy Unk.
Doc is up.
I think more than his stock is up, but yeah, I think he's safe for now.
Doc is up.
Anyways, did you have anything else for Piercing Truth? I had a few
Yeah, I
things.
had a couple,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, you can mention. I had one more thing there's a little bit more stats. Might have to pause the live here real quick. I don't
Uh,
think we join you viewers.
for the IG.
Oh wait, maybe I can pull it up on my computer actually.
Oh, I got you.
You go, I'll put it up.
Oh, okay. Here we can do this headline real quick. Uh, it was announced earlier this week that Harvey Weinstein was rushed to the hospital due to some heart problems, some emergency heart problems. And I guess the real question is why? Like, what are we rushing to the man? Like, clearly the higher powers are trying to call the man home. I think we should just let the, the greater forces do their work. And if we're keeping him alive, what are we even running any of these movies that we're making by him at this point? Because we haven't had a good movie in a while. And
Yeah.
I feel like, if he's just sitting in prison doing nothing, he could at least like tell us if it's a good script or not. So I don't know if we're gonna rush this man to the hospital, at least use his talents for something. But did you have it pulled up there?
Um, sorry, I was getting caught by I was seeing this video of someone trying to run from a courthouse. So have you ever heard about what is it, Castellanos? Like the baseball player, Nick Castellanos.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, so Nick Castellanos is known for hitting home runs at literally the worst time. He hit a home run at his first at bat on 9/11 yesterday, but that's not even close. It's not even close to what he's done.
Wait,
So
are you not supposed to
wow,
hit a home run on your first bat at 9/11?
well, at literally worst timing. So he's hit a home run
Wait, for the
when
people at home, well, never mind. Just keep going.
he's hit a home run either while this was being announced or on the days of this happening.
Oh,
When
okay.
Biden withdrew from the race, assassination attempt on Trump, 2 home runs on the anniversary of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And I think there's a kind of a video there you can look up. 3 other celebrity deaths, the Ocean Gate submarine explosion, a bridge collapse killing several people,
The
an
Baltimore?
hour after the death of Queen Elizabeth was announced, Vin Scully death announcement,
Oh,
cancel
R.I.P.
announcement for his team's owner. That one is crazy. If you have time, look that one up. That's wild. Look at how he announced it. He's got a eulogy for the just deceased PA announcer from the stadium. That was also crazy. Memorial Day tribute package on air. So during the package, afterwards, he has it. Dwayne Haskins' death, same day.
What? See, now that's the type of thing where it's like, it's just too many events at this point.
10 minutes after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. I didn't even know it happened. Apology of opposing team's coach getting a DUI. A 9/11 video package on the air. Eulogy spoken for a WW2, a World War II veteran. Career-threatening injury for Tatis, I guess it mentioned. And then this one's the worst, is and then maybe you can pull it up, when the broadcast announcer used a homophobic slur, and while he's like trying to apologize, and he's like, I may not be here anymore, or something like that.
Oh, that clip? I've seen that
Yeah,
clip.
yeah, he was the one who hit a home run. So that's like a dozen plus. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He might 20, 21, 22. So almost 2 dozen
Two
times
dozen.
he has hit a home run during an event, and it's wild.
Wow, I thought you were saying like there was something wrong about like I thought you were saying like this was like a Todd Gurley should have fallen down on the one, but instead of and like he went into the end zone
No.
type of situation, like there was strategically something wrong with it. But yeah, that's just unfortunate timing for our guy Castellanos. Like, I mean, he can't really do anything about being at bat like while these videos are playing and stuff, right? Like that's just bad timing.
Yeah, but you're gonna hit a home run every single time.
I know
Like,
what's getting you going, buddy.
I,
Why are you
like,
motivated?
like you just look at the calendar, you're like, yep, 9/11, time to turn it on. Like,
Okay, Vin Scully's death is today.
like,
Got to show out for Vin.
I mean, geez, you're like, it's crazy. It's anytime he hits a home run, it's bad news. 10
Yeah,
minutes after Will Smith slapping Chris Rock is crazy.
that
Like,
feels like one of those things where it's just like, is there just too much crazy stuff happening? Like, is it just there's something crazy that actually happens every day and we could just do that with anybody? Or is it actually that big of a coincidence?
well, I mean, those were all big things.
That's what I'm
And a
saying.
lot of those are during the broadcast. So while he's announcing, while the announcer is talking about it, it happens, you know? So that's why it's sometimes, maybe it is the same day, but the same time as the announcer talking about it, that's where it's like, all right,
Man. So
that's a
nobody
little.
remembers this guy's home runs. Does he have any memorable home runs? They're all memorable, but
Yeah.
not because of him, unfortunately. He's got an insane highlight package, though. Maybe you just run the highlights of the home runs next to the events. Has somebody done that?
Hmm. I don't know.
That could be pretty
I
fun.
don't know. They gotta, well, you gotta have the sound with it too. So,
A couple other piercing truth things that I had.
yeah.
Uh, did you see that there was a billionaire that went to space and did
Oh,
like
yeah.
a non-commercial spacewalk? So nobody cared that the Titanic sub just exploded. Like these
Yeah.
billionaires are still going to try to do these extreme things.
Yep.
And I don't know. He had a pretty sick line queued up for this too. He says, "Back at home, he said, back at home, we all have a lot of work to do, but the Earth sure looks perfect from here." So I don't know if he had writers
Or is
on the
he's
team
like,
for him.
talk about corporate speak. He said, y'all better be. He's looking down at all his little slaves working.
Get
I
to
know we've
work.
been going off on a lot of tangents, but I listened to
Go.
an incredible video talking about how it's crazy how we have to prove that we can make a profit for stakeholders to have a right to access food and basic housing needs, and how this system of
Mm.
money kind of really sucks, and how it's literally tearing apart our world with deforestation and climate change and all that, and like how the concept of money is all made up. And yeah, I thought it was really interesting. There's this what I'd call
Was this an
modern
ad for
day,
crypto?
yeah, I don't know, the modern day philosopher I've been watching. Like, it's one of those things where he's just standing and talking, but it's really interesting stuff. But it's just the idea that, like, we are working to make money, and like, and he was starting off with like the French from when they were a couple of months ago when they were fighting about having to work longer before they get their retirement fund. And that, like, the French have a saying, I guess, that your life starts when you retire. And it's, you working isn't really living. And
Yeah.
it's just crazy that, we have to give up our most valuable resource to have access to food and stuff, instead of, and of course, we all love the, advantages that civilization gives us. We wouldn't be able to do this podcast without it. But it's just the idea that we as humans have made this system, instead of, instead of providing for our own basic needs, we have to create profit for stakeholders to prove that we deserve to live. And so, and so the alternatives are starve or go to a prison 5 days a week for most people, 8 to 5. And yeah, I don't know, kind of hit home. So yeah, when a billionaire is talking about, hey, y'all need to get to work, it's just sending emails and everyone trying to scam everyone. And it's crazy because it feels like the system we're in is just like a ball that's spinning more and more and more and more. And it's gonna rip out of control at some point when you see headlines like Elon Musk potentially being a trillionaire, you know?
Is
I
he
mean, with all,
really?
like, he's on pace to be the
Did they
first
give
ever.
like a year for that? Like a
Yeah,
projection?
I
A
think it was
trillionaire?
2030. Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you have all these government contracts. And it's also crazy to think that he's
I
put
saw
all his
something that
money
he,
into X and he could still be a trillionaire.
yeah, I saw something that said he owns like 2/3 of the satellites right now in orbit.
Yeah.
That was
And
a
he can
little like,
come off if he
okay.
wants. I mean, you can't, I
Seems a
think he
little
was like
concerning.
threatening Brazil about it because of X being it by 2027.
Whoa! In
Yeah,
2 years, he's gonna have $1 trillion?
that's what people are saying. Well, three, but yeah, two and a half. But he will hit 1.19
Whoa, it's
at
like
the
the NBA
moment.
media rights deal.
Yeah, at the moment, he's worth $195 billion. But if his wealth continues growing at the rate that he has 110% per year, it'll be 1.95 trillion in 2027. So, and he's not the only one. There's someone else in India, a mining magnate. You already know human rights violations through the roof over there. Um,
Is that
and
that
then
is that that AI company? Is it Nvidia?
Guzman, Adani, I don't know. I don't think so. And then Nvidia, the
Oh, there it
chips that
is.
everyone buys, that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
they're
they're
cheap.
really exploding right
And then
now
another
publicly.
mining mogul. It's just crazy to me that two of the top four people to hit that track, all of whom are on track to hit that in 2028. We're gonna have potentially four trillionaires in 2028, and half of them are relying on mining, which is literally like tearing the world's resources and packaging and selling it. And there's no way, knowing that these are overseas, there's definitely no way that, even if it was here, that everything is up to code and there's totally not like a horrible human rights violations stuff going on and they're just paying off the authorities like,
Yeah,
obviously. So it's just crazy to me that we're going to have potentially four trillionaires in 4 years, and and everyone else just kind of got to eat it, kind of got to deal with it.
yeah. Four. That's crazy. I didn't even realize we were that close because I knew the numbers
Yeah.
were. I thought they were like 50 billion.
No, yeah, no.
Which even
4
50
years
billion
at
is
4
like,
billion.
you got to go to 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 900 billion to a trillion. So
And we
I
have
was.
that while nearly a billion human beings don't even have electricity yet.
So Musk could put, but Musk will do the right thing, right? He'll give a little
I
money
mean,
in.
I think people have calculated like if he gave like how many billion, he would still be like more money than he could ever spend. Like if he just paid for like
Yeah.
free
Imagine
water
it.
for everyone.
I know if he's worth $1 trillion, he doesn't have $1 trillion in cash, but like,
Yeah.
imagine being worth $1 trillion, cutting your net worth in half and spreading out that $500 billion and still having 500 billion left over. It's pretty crazy.
Like what are you gonna do with that? What? Like you're like, oh, I'm broke now. Like I only have $500 billion. But like everyone has to put themselves in debt to go to college, so we can like say that we have a stage of right to maybe get a corporate job that we hate. You know,
How much college could $1 billion pay for?
I don't, I can't even imagine.
Can you look up real
Imagine
quick
how
how
much
much?
community college. Like,
Can you look up how much real quick like America spends in tuition every year?
I'd like to see how much we spend on the military every year.
Yeah, true. Look that up too. I mean, you could easily run. I mean, how do they even getting $1 trillion? Do we have that much money on the planet?
I don't. So we spend in US about 857 billion each year. And
Oh,
then
wow.
yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Wow, I did not know it was that high. That's crazy. So we
30,
almost spend $1 trillion in education a year?
yeah, how much does US spend on military though? Here we go. Let's see how many trillions we spend on. So we spend 2.4 trillion on military. So like
Whoa.
I guess last year we spent
The big
800.
bucks.
Let's see, the US ranked.
We need to get a military contract real quick.
Oh, the total worldwide. Okay, so worldwide it's 2.4. So it's 820 billion each year. Um,
But put that in perspective. I mean, you'd have
yeah,
half as much as the total military budget in the world. That's pretty
yeah, it's
crazy.
2.10. Yeah, I don't. All this to
Those
say,
four guys would have. So if those four guys each had $1 trillion, you're saying the $4 trillion between those four guys would be more than the entire military budget of the entire world?
I think so.
If you read that correctly,
Let me see. I don't
that's
know.
pretty crazy.
How much does the world spend on? Maybe it's just US.
Well, that's what you just said, right? 2 point whatever trillion.
Does the world spend on military? Oh yeah, you're right. So it's 2.44 million. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's grown because of Gaza and Russia, Ukraine, and South China Sea. So that's more than normal. So yeah, I mean, three of them would be more than the whole world spent last year on military
Between
with the
three
wars
guys.
going on. Yeah. Three human beings. But but then, yeah,
Can we get a lady in
that ain't ever gonna happen. Maybe one day it'll happen, but
there?
not right now. Not right now.
Not in 2027.
You know.
But
But
man,
anyway, for your depressing news corner,
that was
we're
some
headed.
real piercing truth.
Yeah, we're not headed in a great situation as society, and the alternatives are just making the rich pay for everything, and that's why all the future movies look dystopian because we're very much headed to that.
Hmm.
We're very much headed to.
Hunger Games?
I don't know about Hunger Games. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, Gladiator Wars. I don't know.
Oh.
Well, you can see the creepiest one, the most the concept that scares me the most out of all of the movies that I've ever seen was where I think it was Hunger Games, where they forced you to watch ads. Like if you close your eyes,
Yeah.
like it'd be a high screeching noise that give you a headache, and then you'd have to watch ads in your little box cell and stuff. And it's just like it's
See, like, what
crazy.
is that?
I don't know, but it's just normal for everyone to be in debt. And it's just normal for a couple people to have stuff. And that's why people say the phrase, eat the rich, because if you don't, you won't have much else to eat soon. So
Hmm.
I don't know. It's crazy.
I smell a revolution.
Yeah, I know. Well, and I mean, I think that's why you see people like Trump rise up because people are in unrest and they want something to change. It's just maybe we shouldn't do the route of complete racism, but I don't know. I mean, even when you
Maybe let's not do
look
that one.
exactly, and like you look at our government, like it's ridiculously in debt. We're always scared of a government shutdown every couple months, and it's just I don't know. And then people are like, "Oh, Gen Z are so they don't want to work and blah blah blah." It's like because we recognize how bad it is because that's all we've known, and we're not. And now inflation's gone up like the last 2 years a lot, and it's a tough scene. All right. I'm sorry, y'all, for making it all sad, but
Stay to the end, people. That's why you just get enlightened at the end of the pod. It's what it
there you
is.
go.
The end of the stream.
There you go.
Do we have anything else for the other corners? I know you
Soccer
mentioned Frisbee
stuff
a
is
little bit
starting up
earlier.
again this year or this week. Your boy Holland is trying to do something that no one has done, in my opinion, or
Of
no one has
course.
done in the modern era, in my opinion.
Sounds like Holland.
Yeah, he is trying this week to get the third hat trick in a row.
Whoa, the hat trick, the hat trick squared?
Hat trick squared. So
We'll come
in
up with a
the
better
Premier
nickname.
League, so he scored two hat tricks. So he scored, three goals in each of the last two games. And against Brentford, he's trying to do something that hasn't been done since 1946. I mean, they did it once in 1925, once in 1926, once in 1928, and once in 1946, but never in the Premier League, other leagues. But like 1946 is not the modern era. Come on, y'all. Like I get it, it's the World War, but like come on. So if it's a game where they stop and everyone's shaking hands and stuff, like come on. I mean, they do that in real life, but anyway, he's planning to do something never seen before. And guess what? Everyone's kind of saying it's a Mickey Mouse record that he's going to break because of the 115 charges against Man City for breaking the rules in terms of how much they spend. I guess they still have those 115 charges that
Were
put
they
them in the
sign stealing?
No, it was where
Yeah, it was
they
for the
were
roster stuff,
breaking the
right?
rules in terms of how much you can spend because they want people to spend as much as they earn. And so they didn't really do that. And they just spent a lot and brought in a lot of good players, which has helped them on this run. And so it put them in this good position to have Holland and De Bruyne and stuff. But on the other hand, I still don't discount it because you have to still be good. Like you still got to go out and play the games and actually do it, even if you have the talent, which Guardiola has said many times. So I get it. It is tough and it sucks and it's not fair. But it's still a crazy record that he has a chance to break this weekend. So we'll see.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like all summer before you get 3 goals and just watching soccer in general. So the fact that he can do 3 goals, 3 games in a row. I looked up the record for the most triple doubles in a row for the NBA. Do you know what it is? You want to
Russell
guess?
Westbrook,
It is Westbrook. Do you know how many
46.
in a row?
Yeah,
You think the man got 46 triple doubles in a row?
I thought it was. I don't know how many. 30?
On Google, it says 11
Dang.
triple doubles in a row.
He averaged it for a season. How did he not get more and
Well,
more?
because some you get like 12 rebounds, and then some you get
All
8,
right, figure it out. It's that pattern.
and it's an average.
I
But
thought it was. I thought it was like. I don't know where I have the number 46. Maybe it's 1946 over here that got stuck in my head.
yeah, Will did it in 1946. Yeah, you're right.
You know.
Somebody else did. But yeah,
Also, WNBA playoffs, are they around the corner? Also,
shout out to
NBA.
the Fever and the Aces. They were playing a little bit ago, and they wrapped up while we were talking
Oh
about.
yeah. Did the
Um,
Aces win again?
the Aces did win. It was 78-74. Caitlin Clark tonight,
Mm.
7 of 18 from the field, 18 points, 10
Oops, better
assists.
than the last game. Shout
Oh,
out,
they took an assist away.
congratulations.
9 assists.
Congratulations to Asia Wilson. Most points in a single season.
Yep.
Broken. And even though the league has expanded to more games, she still broke it within those number of games that the
Oh, the
record was
original
previously
number?
set. Yeah, it was like 34 or something. And I saw like they were like, oh, the league's longer, so of course you would. Well, she broke it earlier, so
It'd be like if Mahomes set the passing record now in 16 games again, where you're like, oh, it doesn't even matter.
yeah. I
Take the
don't
game
know.
off.
Shout
But
out also Beaver, Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark, both 1 and 2 for franchise single season scoring list
and
with
they
two
said
weeks
Caitlin
left.
Clark broke the WNBA single season assist record tonight as well.
Yeah, I'm very excited for these playoffs.
We're gonna have to lock in.
We're gonna have to lock in. We are gonna have to lock in. The Aces play the Wings, and then they finish the season with the Mystics. So it'd be nice for them to go in the playoffs on a win.
Have you
Uh,
claimed a WNBA team yet? Or do
yeah, I
you
mean
just
it's obviously the Fever.
okay,
Like,
Caitlin Clark? Yeah,
yeah, I mean I'm a bandwagoner. I'll take it, but it's
no,
my
you're
alma
not.
mater.
I
So
mean, you're
yeah,
literally from her hometown in a way. If she went to
exactly.
college in your home, and
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. She's an alma mater. We have the same. We went to the
same
same.
alma mater, yeah.
Yeah,
At the same time as well.
yeah. A year, 1 year.
Some
When she
overlap
went
during COVID when you actually weren't
first
there, but
year, well, the first year she went to the championship.
hmm. Did
Yeah,
you hear
'cause-
him talking about because they have the Big Ten now on the CBS, obviously, but
yeah.
for college, but Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson were calling that Iowa State game, and they
Hmm.
were talking about how they were in some bar on Friday night, and instead of the NFL game that night, the Brazil game, the Packers Eagles, they had on all the TVs Caitlin Clark, and they said the
Mm.
NFL game was just like in one little TV off in the corner, and then once the Fever
As it
game
should be.
ended, yeah, everybody just left after Caitlin
That's
Clark got
interesting
done.
because
But
the Packers are low key have a
they're
strong
kind of a
fan
local
base.
team.
Yeah. In Iowa, they're pretty local, but Caitlin Clark is just killing it.
Yeah, she's
I'm
obviously
not
the number
surprised.
one. Number one, and yeah, so you got the hometown thing going for you. It's not a bandwagon. So
Also,
you'll be Fever. I'm a Becky Hammond bandwagon. So
also congratulations to Iowa State. That was a couple weeks ago. Or no, it was
that
last
was
week.
last week.
Congratulations to them winning, stealing our spot in the rankings. It was a last second
Last
play
second
too.
field
Were you
goal.
watching it?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of the end. Yeah,
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. I was trying to catch the
I was in
stream. I
and
was
out.
actually playing frisbee right outside Stanford Stadium when they were playing. They're playing Cal.
Ooh,
Yeah, but
They were so
Yeah.
impressed watching you play. They were just like, can we sub him in right now?
Uh-huh.
Get that
It's
kid
all,
playing frisbee outside.
yeah, exactly.
Get him on
They
scholarship.
get them in here. But yeah, maybe we'll get them next year. We've been had it for like the last 3, 4 years, right?
The what are you talking
The
about? The
Cyhawk
Cyhawk?
Trophy.
I think so. I can look it
Yeah.
up quick. I don't know.
But
I'm
yeah,
only
that's a
invested just because it's the
tough
local rivalry, but
loss. I'm not gonna lie, I was riding the wave a little bit. I mean, we're still in there, but I was not a bad team, Iowa State. But it is crazy that they knocked us completely out and then put Iowa State at 21. It wasn't like it was
no, it's like UFC. They take your spot.
I guess.
You win, you get to claim the spot in the rankings. So as of recently, Iowa State's won 2 of the last 3 years. They won in 22 and then this past year. But yeah, Iowa won in 23. And then before that, Iowa won the like 5 or 6 in a row.
Exactly. Yeah, there was that. I knew there was a stretch there.
And then, oh yeah, 80s all the way into the 90s, big run for Iowa. But Iowa State had a little
Well, we had
5 year run.
homie, Kurt,
5 year.
we had Fry.
Yeah, true.
Probably when we had our Heisman, the one Heisman winner.
Strong? What's that guy's name?
Something.
I forget.
That's crazy. We're up 19-7 late in the third, and we never scored again, I guess. When did we score that? And do you believe in Iowa? Do you believe in Magic?
Well, for what? They might be they'll be a ranked team at the end of the year.
You think we could sneak into the playoffs?
Nah. Playoffs are going to be good this year. I think it's kind of a
Yeah.
stacked field. I was looking at some of the teams. Well,
Kansas.
obviously
Who
we've all
do you
been
have more
watching.
faith in, Kansas or Iowa?
I haven't seen Kansas, but
Yeah, they
I mean,
played today.
Iowa's
No.
defense is always pretty elite. So
Yeah, they beat UNLV, I think, today. They've been kind of good. Jalen Daniels is back.
he's a
Oh,
better
they
quarterback than
lost? Oh my
Cade.
gosh, we lost. All right, we're cooked. Whatever.
Oh no, Kansas
We're
is done.
cooked.
No
Season's
playoffs
done.
for Kansas.
1-2. We're done. All right. Well,
One and
that's
two.
crazy. Jalen Daniels fell off.
That's tough. We
Nah.
used to like Jalen Daniels.
I know. What happened?
R.I.P. to our
RIP, we
Jalen
lost to
Daniels stock.
Illinois. Jeez.
Tough
Yeah.
look.